Everywhere Jesus went, great crowds of people followed to hear him speak. I would want to go hear Jesus if he were in our country, wouldn't you? I don't blame them for wanting to hear Jesus. Today, when many people want to hear a great preacher who is in town, a big building will be rented, a civic center, a football stadium, or a huge auditorium. Jesus had no big buildings like this in which to preach. Jesus came to ordinary people and he spoke to them as he walked from one place to another or as he visited their homes. There were no big restaurants to provide meals as there are today. People brought their own food, borrowed from other people, or went to the village to buy food. One time, Jesus was in a desert place, that is, a place out in the country where there were no houses or people. Many people followed Jesus that day. There were thousands of people, 5,000 men, as well as women and children. That is a lot of people. Most churches could not hold anywhere near 5,000 people. The people liked listening to Jesus and they stay and stay and stayed. When the day was almost gone, all the people were still there listening to Jesus, and there was no food for them. Jesus' disciples became concerned. They said to him, "This is a desert place and the time is late. You need to send the people away that they may go into the village and buy food for themselves." Maybe the disciples were a little bit hungry themselves. Jesus said to the disciples, "They don't need to go. You can give them some food." One of the disciples said to Jesus, "Shall we go and buy food to feed all this crowd? We only have a little money. We cannot buy enough so everyone may receive even a little bread." Jesus said, "Go and see among the crowd of people how much food some of them may have brought." One disciple found a little boy who had brought a small lunch. The disciple said to Jesus, "Master, a boy has brought his lunch. It has in it only 5 small loaves and 2 small fishes. I know it is not much, but it is all there is." Jesus said, "Bring it to me." The little lunch, perhaps wrapped in a clean cloth, was brought to Jesus. Everyone was so hungry, and it was such a little bit of food. Jesus said to the people, "Everyone sit down on the grass." But that could make the people think Jesus intended to feed them. Could Jesus possibly feed so many people from such a little bit of food? The disciples watched breathlessly. Everyone was seated now. Everyone was waiting to see what Jesus would do. Jesus took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes and he looked up to heaven. He blessed the food and then he broke it up into pieces. He kept breaking and there were more and more pieces. Some brought a basket and it was filled. Jesus gave it to the disciples and they passed it out to the people. More fish and more bread. Still Jesus kept breaking it into pieces and still there was food left. Jesus had performed another miracle. He had made enough food for everyone for the boy's small lunch. Everyone ate and was filled. There was even food left over. They passed the basket around for what was left, and there were 12 basketfuls. What a wonderful Savior we have. If we are hungry, He can give us food. If we need anything, He can provide it. We should always be satisfied with the things that God had given us, knowing that He will keep His promise to provide for our needs.